Hey there, it's me, Butter, with my new book, The Many Adventures of These Nuts. Let's be nuts about our health. Join me and my friends, Wally Walnut, Almond Cruz, Pumpkin Spice, Chica Cheminsky, Morgan Raisin, and Hallie Cranberry, here with rhythm and song to share a fun way to stay safe and healthy. So together we can all be nuts about our health. Ebook available now on Amazon, or get a hardcover copy at www.thesenutstrailmix.com. That's nuts with a Z.
Feedback. Feedback. Hi, this is Theo Broughton.
And I am Thabiti Mpinda.
Inviting you to join us each Monday at 9 a.m. for Feedback.
A positive image production by Hood Research.
Encourage others to tune in each Monday on
Comcast Detroit, Roku, Amazon Fire TV, watch WHPR TV Network anywhere.
and take us along with you. Feedback. 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 Along with you. Oh, happy Monday to everybody who is tuned in today. Thank you so much for joining us here on Feedback, a positive image production by Hood Research. I'm Theo Broughton, co-founder of Hood Research, and
My name is Thabiti, and we welcome you to the program.
my co-host. And I just want to say, oh man, happy Monday to so many of you. Happy Monday to Vera and to Michael and to Carl and Al and Henry and Katrina and oh my goodness. There was so much going on this past weekend. Happy Monday to Bernice and to Lori. And I had a chance to go over to the Farwells Community Center. It is a wonderful place. You know, they were talking about upgrades, renovations, and all of that. But they have a lot to offer in that community, and it's very nice. And there was an outdoor meeting. It was well attended. There was another group exercising. They have tennis courts and all of that. So we do have a lot to take advantage of here in our community. And you know, this is election season. Okay. People got to know that. And absentee voting will start mid-September, and September's almost here. Who you want to say good morning to?
I want to give shout outs to Ruth Ann, Sister Jackie, Brother Fred, Shane, Sheila Ragland, Cheryl D. Also, I want to shout out my brothers Gene and Dennis. Dennis is a new viewer, as well as Gene, as a matter of fact.
All right.
They found out what their brother was doing on Mondays. They decided they become a part of it. So
That's a good thing.
And I also want to ask all of you, you see the numbers at the bottom of the screen. We have the phone system working with our original phone numbers, so make it a point to jot that down. And as you see me do now, always have pen and paper handy, because callers will have information, we'll have information, you want to get that. And additionally, I just ask you to ask your friends, church members, co-workers, acquaintances, neighbors, all whom you know in your circle to tune in as well and share information as well as you receive information.
That's right. That's right. And good morning to Mark and to Michelle and just so many. And we really enjoy and appreciate you tuning in. And also every Saturday we have an afternoon with Hood Research. And as Thabiti says, have pen and paper handy. But on Saturday afternoon, between the hours of 3 p.m. and 6 p.m., we ask you to dial 1-978 990 5000. The access code is 338-729. Press the pound key and you'll hear and then join the conversation. Again, the number, I say 1978 990 5000. Access code is 338-729. Press the pound key. Some people call it tic-tac-toe sign. Some people call it a hashtag. Whatever you call it, press it and join the conversation.
And I'd like to also give a quick shout out to Brother James Ford, Mr. Obama Day, and also Professor Griggs.
Oh, yes. And you know what? In San Jose, California, there was a stretch of road named after President Barack Obama. It's the first that I'm aware of. Now, it's possible that there's some other stretch of highway or freeway or road that has been named in his honor, but that's the first that I'm aware of, San Jose, California.
And know that although he ran into, I guess the builders ran into a few issues, that they're working on the presidential library for former President Barack Obama in Chicago. So that will be definitely a destination spot for all of us, and we're within driving distance of that. So let's always take care of and appreciate our institutions. Speaking of which, I must add this quickly. Yesterday, I was at the African World Festival over at the Charles H. Wright Museum.
Yes.
Oh, it was beautiful. This African piece you see on my neck, I purchased it there. I did support some of the vendors. Got a dashiki, which I have on when it gets a little cooler. It's too hot out here now.
Right now.
And I purchased some other things, listened to some of the music. So it was a wonderful experience. Ran into a former co-worker. So I hope if any of you had a chance to visit, that you'll call and share your experience with us.
It's always good to participate in the events that express and demonstrate our culture, the positive culture that we have. We have some negative that has kind of seeped in, and the National Black Leadership Alliance is working to make people aware so they will turn it off. Just turn it off. If you hear rapping or music that has a lot of derogatory terms that somebody wants to call our women, or somebody who is encouraging you to just go out and shoot up the block. I mean, doesn't matter if you know them or not, just kill people. Kill your own people. I mean, it's just crazy stuff. Turn it off. Movies, radio, anything that is negative along that line.
They had an expression back in the day, Theo, which is much more prevalent today, which is psychological warfare. And that's exactly what we are, psychological warfare.
Exactly. And here in the city of Detroit, the flooding that was talked about in 2014. Oh, we're going to have the pumps repaired and all that. Didn't happen. 2016 came along, more flooding. And now this year, the same thing. How much do you have to put up with?
And it's crazy because they say once in a century. Well, the centuries are getting shorter than if we're having it with this frequency.
Yeah, every so few years. You're absolutely right. And it just appears that it is an intentional plot to make people, again, psychological warfare, move out of the city of Detroit. I'm not putting up with this anymore. Somebody will say, I'm going to move. Well, moving is not always a solution. Sometimes they say, what do they say? You go, it's all kind of sayings. We're going to have to do that one day, just a whole list of sayings. But you move from the
frying pan to the fire.
Into the fire. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Sometimes you move from the frying pan into the fire. There you go. And it's just time to stand up, speak out, fight. Fight for a better quality of life right here where we live.
And you don't want to move to Grosse Pointe. They're having problems too.
Oh,
so
my goodness.
Stay home.
Absolutely. And on top of that, they have filed a lawsuit, and rightly so. They should. And some real estate person said that 75% of the inventory that she was dealing with is flooded. That's something. Flooded. So right here where we are, I think is worth fighting for. But the gentrification that has been going on, or Negro removal, as I call it, is in play. And it's to get you to get angry, get upset, get depressed, get just anxiety attacks, all of that. And they say, throw up your hands. No. Moving out is not always the answer.
And I would add, when you say Negro removal, as we know, they put in that little 375 to kill Paradise Valley and Black Bottom.
Yes.
So now they wanted to put up a little monument or something to that. I guess that's what they call it, a plaque or something along that line. And this has happened nationwide, where they had we were thriving communities. They decided, well, we don't want them thriving. They may get the big head and think that they really are somebody. So we're just gonna go right through their neighborhoods, tell them that we just need to have this highway. So don't let anyone put you in a position where you say, well, I've had enough. Have you had enough fighting? If you haven't been fighting, then you haven't really had enough.
That's right. And Black Bottom had many thriving businesses. And I'm told that this is Black Business Month.
Yes.
So we want to encourage you to support Black businesses within our community. There are many of them that are excellent businesses. As a matter of fact, somebody needs to call me and let me know about 90s hours. We need to encourage people to go to 90s right there on Oakland Boulevard. A nice Black-owned business. And also what is the other thing? A Black Reading Month, I believe it is. David Rambo was the one who talked about that. And encourage people to read.
And before you, right here in front of Theo, as you see, a book that's for reading for children, but I say adults as well, because I enjoyed it.
And it's encouraging the young children. I don't know if I tell you the story about how he got involved in this. He was developing his own trail mix. He drives a lot, and he had trail mix in the car. And he didn't like what he was purchasing. He said, Mom, I said, I don't like, I'm going to do my own. So he went to one of those bookstores. You can buy the various grains and all that in bulk. So he created his own trail mix. And during that time, he started hearing about recommendations as it relates to the COVID virus and all that. And he called me one day and he says, Mom, I said, what is it? They're not talking to the children. I said, who's not talking to the children? He said, they're not. They're not talking to them. They're not telling them to wash their hands and wear their masks and watch where they sit, watch where they stand. And he went on and on. I said, oh. So I started, paying attention to different scenes, news programs and all of that. And he was right. Nobody was caring about the children. So he wrote a book for the children to encourage them to wash their hands and wear their masks and all of that. And that's what you see before you. And he was concerned about them, as more people should be concerned about our children. But
and I would just add, first I want to say that I have enjoyed the trail mix. I've been into trail mixes anyway because I like the idea that they're a healthy snack, chips and cheese, corn, and this, that, and the other with all the salt and all the artificial flavorings and all the artificial dyes. And we do have a caller who wants to share their thoughts with us. Hello,
we're
caller.
supposed to have a guest this morning, but it's always feast of famine around here. Go ahead.
Hello, caller. You're on the air. Would you share your name and how you're viewing us, please?
I'm going to guess that I'm the caller. My name is Keith Hines, Diamond 2 Productions.
Yes.
We the People, Hood Research.
All right.
ETC,
All right. Well, thank you for calling us. Happy Monday.
Hey, I meant to call and talk to you guys last night, but I dozed off.
You dozed
Yeah,
off.
I kind of dozed off
That
a
was-
little bit there,
Well, that was attorney Johnny Hawkins, the
okay.
warrior lawyer. And he's going to be on with us here in a few weeks. Yes. What's going on in your world?
My world, let me see, water everywhere and not a drop to drink.
I heard that. That's another saying. Who said that?
Sounds like Detroit, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. Oh.
I mean, if you think about it, all the issues that we've been having, and this goes back to, I'm going to go back to the Archer administration.
Oh, do you have to?
Unfortunately, I do, because a lot of this stuff really started to transform during that period as intelligent people were removed from positions and puppets were put in place. Because, a lot of the issues. No, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Oh, okay, yeah, because a lot of the issues that we even deal with every day, we had taken and hired people at one time. Those were skilled positions. Like on the fourth floor, planning and development, buildings and safety administration. What happened to them?
I have a question for both of you, because this is just something I heard in the grapevine, but I don't know if there's truth to it or not. Yeah, you never know. Sometimes it's more reliable, but now they were saying that the Flint water, there was a 4% measurement, I believe, of lead, and from what I understand, there may be a 12% in Detroit of lead in our water. So since you brought water up, Brother Hines, I just wanted to know, had you heard anything about it? Because I caught the last end of that interview.
I don't know about the exact numbers, but yes, they're finding lead percentages in all the systems across the country. Nobody escaped.
Keith, I spoke to a scientist a few years back, and oh, geez, I'm trying to remember the year. There was a woman on, as a matter of fact, I think she was on Jim Holly's show. And he was not at this station at that time. And she was just so proud that they were introducing sodium phosphate into our water. And it was supposed to have some of the metals and whatever cling to it, and then it would help to clean our water. Okay. And I thought, now that's strange. Because when I hear the word sodium, I think of hypertension, also known as high blood pressure. So anyway, I had an opportunity to talk to a scientist in Indiana, and he said that, no, you don't have to have that. And I'm trying to think of the chemical he said would be better. And he said it's more expensive. He said, but he said it's not that much more expensive. And it would balance out. But it would be better to use that for the physical, well-being of the residents in the city. So I took the information and I shared it with a doctor that I know, specialized in internal medicine. And both of those people being on the level that they were, they could have hopefully done something about it. But as far as I know, sodium phosphate is still in the water here. And in the meantime, there are many people here who are still dealing with high blood pressure. And I also observed that like every couple of blocks, there's a kidney machine center. And more and more and more people are being recommended to go on dialysis. And that just seems to me to be totally unnecessary.
And what's interesting with what you're saying, and I'll let you get in, Brother Keith, when you mention that sodium phosphate in water, and then you compound that with some of our dietary choices, like I mentioned earlier, chips and things with high sodium, and a lot of the processed foods, whether they're in these boxes where you get the macaroni that you mix, all of it's being processed, and people don't understand, as well as canned vegetables, that these things are used as preservatives so that the thing, whatever the product is, has a long shelf life. But my
Right.
point being that since they use sodium in that, and we're quick to take something out of the box, you mix in a little water, some milk or whatever, you stir it up in 15 minutes, you got a meal. But if you couple that with the sodium in the water, the sodium in the food, we have, as Theo was saying, the result of more dialysis clinics in our neighborhood, and that's, we have to be mindful too.
What they're doing to the whole community. And speaking of processed foods, I want to say thank you to Paul, and good morning, Paul. He shared some cucumbers and tomatoes out of his garden. And rather than processed food, if people would eat more fresh foods, and particularly this time of year, you can eat a lot of salads, And of course, we still have Eastern Market, at least I hope we do, where people can go and get fresh produce on Saturday. Somebody told me they're there on Saturday and Tuesday. Now, I'm not thoroughly knowledgeable of the Tuesday opening at Eastern Market, but you want to take advantage of that. And we also have a gentleman, Akeem, anyway, he manages, I think it's 12 acres of produce on Outer Drive in Chicago. And he is the person who was interviewed right here on WHBR a few months ago. And there is a brand new grocery store that is being constructed on Euclid and Woodward Avenue. Euclid and Woodward Avenue. And hopefully within a year, it should be open for us to patronize. And thank God be able to put that store on Claremont and Woodward out of business. The one that Malik talks about that sells rotten meat and outdated food. And that would just be a blessing for the community, because so often people have difficulty with transportation getting to a market where they can purchase food that is better for them. So they just relent and put up with canned goods at home, seeing as how it makes it more difficult. So the construction of this grocery store would make a wonderful, wonderful opportunity for people in the area.
And there are
Yeah,
go ahead,
the
brother.
better. Yeah, the fresher the better. Michigan is known for its farming community. Detroit, at one time, believe it or not, was known for its farming community. Before the automobiles and all the other industrialization, took over and squeezed everybody out. But it's nice if you have it close, convenient, and fresh. One of the problems I think our generation is having now is the fast food industry
Yes.
has kind of fast away all the nutrition. You get the
Right.
volume, you get the mass, you get something to consume, but you don't get anything for it.
But you know what, Keith? We got about a minute or so. We got to go to break, so I want you to hold on. But there was a lady, Zora, who was on with us about 2 weeks ago, and she has written a book using produce, and as I remember, it was fish and turkey and chicken were the meats that were included in this. It was a cookbook. And the point I'm making is it was not a long, laborious job to cook in the kitchen. The recipes that she had were easy to make, fast to make, So when you hear people saying, well, I work all day and I'm tired and I just want to drive up to the window of some fast food restaurant and then take it home, put it on the table, sit down and eat. Well, okay, maybe fast, but you may be getting out of this world fast too when you continue going down that road. Convenience, hey, okay, Anyway, we got to take a break. And so you all hold on, call somebody, let them know we're on. We're talking good stuff, and you can call in too. And we'll be back momentarily. Hold on, Keith.
You're watching Detroit's own WHPR TV. Detroit Live.
This is Theo Broden from Feedback. You can watch me 24 hours a day, 7 days a week at WHPR TV Now app. Download our free app at WHPR TV Now.
Monday at 9 a.m. Eastern.
I'm James Ford, founder of the Obama Weekend, and a partner of the Hood Research Team, composed of the knowledgeable Theo Broden, the super analyst Henry, and the colorful Al Martin. This team discusses politics, seen and not seen, at the national, state, and local level. But to enhance the goals of this team, join or donate to Hood Research by visiting Twitter or Facebook, or visit hoodresearch.org, or call 248-234-2371. You can also join Hood Research on Phonecast every Saturday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time by calling 978-990-5000, access code 338729. Thank you very much.
It's the These Nuts Show with your host, Butter and friends. Butter here, magician escape artist, practicing for my show tonight. Come on in, have a seat.
All right, everybody settle. Butter, you're on in 5, 4, 3, 2.
In a few seconds, you gotta be enough to get out of this one. Twist a little turn, ta-da! It's showtime! It's your old friend Butter here. I may be a nut, but I know to wear my mask. Please welcome my first guest tonight, fitness guru, Wally Walnut.
Warnut here to tell you to wash your hands with soap and water for 20 seconds so you will stay healthy and strong like me.
Almond Cruz here, sliding in with the news. Distance is what we must do to stay away from the chew and other germs in the air that might be trying to get on you. Social distancing is a wonderful way to see friends. As long as you're 6 feet apart, you win.
Hey there, friends. I wouldn't miss this for the world. It's me, Pumpkin Spice, your healthy girl. Remember, it's important to use your kind hearts and follow the signs to stay healthy and safe at all times.
Chica Chewitsky here to say, don't forget the little ones that need you to lead the way. That's how we remember to wash our hands, mask, and social distance today.
Morgan Raisin. Yes, it's me, here to sing about health and safety. We are all here to help get a message out to your grapevine, teaching healthy choices to stay safe all the time.
Don't let these guys drive you nuts. Put your mask on first. They'll let you be. And it keeps me safe from the
chew
that's trying to get on me.
Butter me up. She's right, you know. Thank you, Hallie Cranberry, for joining the show. Let's all be nuts about our health. social distancing, wash your hands frequently, use hand sanitizer, and wear a mask. Practice what we learned to stay away from the germs. We're all in this together. Coming soon, the many adventures of these nuts in a theater near you.
I've always been a runner, but I've never run from anything, and neither has my city.
Do you want to be a Detroit police officer?
Sir, yes, sir! Amen!
It's something special to protect the people closest to you, the ones you've known all your life, your neighbors, your friends. I was born in this city, and I'm not going anywhere. This is my home. That's why I wear the shield.
Feedback. Hi, this is Theo Broughton,
And I am Thabiti Mpinda,
inviting you to join us each Monday at 9 a.m. for Feedback.
a positive image production by Hood Research.
Encourage others to tune in each Monday on
Comcast Detroit, Roku, Amazon Fire TV, watch WHPR TV Network anywhere.
and take us along with you. Feedback. Ah, that's my favorite commercial. Beside the one about the trail mix and the crazy nuts. NUTZ, by the way. The meeting you wanted to share.
Yeah, those of you who just saw the commercials before us, you saw the one on police recruitment for Detroit. And I just want to encourage all of you to, if you yourself are employed but know someone who is not, encourage them to become a part of the Detroit Police Force. One thing, we need people who look like us patrolling in neighborhoods that are lived in by us. But recently they had a graduating class for Detroit police officers as well as the state troopers. And in each class I saw only enough black people of color that I didn't need all my fingers to count them. So our numbers are very small when it comes to becoming a part of law enforcement. But as we know, we need in our community to have people who look like us, who can identify with us, and who have our interests more so in line, as opposed to somebody coming from Troy or Lake Orion or wherever they're coming from, but they're not Detroiters. So I would just encourage you to have family members to become a part of the solution and not be a part of the problem.
Mm-hmm. That is desperately needed. There's an issue. This just really bugged me. There's a guy running for city council in the 7th district, and I would not vote for him if he was the only one running. He was being interviewed by somebody, and he said, "We have to keep our police safe." And I thought, how stupid is that? Keep the police safe. First of all, they know what they sign up for. Secondly, they are not high on the list for being an endangered species. And thirdly, when we get all of these recruits from outside the city of Detroit, we have an occupying force. An occupying force. That's the last thing we need. We need people from our own community joining the department. They know the neighborhoods, they know the people, they know the culture. And that's what people from outside our community don't know, is the culture. In addition to that, those who are driving our vehicles, our tax dollars pay for all of that equipment they use. And they drive our vehicles outside the city. It's already been proven that a parked vehicle from the police department is a deterrent to crime. They tested that. They have proven that it is a deterrent to crime. So why should we be happy for officers to drive our police vehicles outside the city, parking them in the suburban neighborhoods, keeping them safer? I mean, what's up with that? He wants to keep the police safe. I'm like, boy, whew.
Pandering to the union.
Yeah, I thought of that same thing, and maybe they endorsed it. Maybe that's what the plan was, but that does not help the community. What about keeping the community safe? That's what the intent is Keep the
It's
community
our
safe.
community.
That's what they hired for. We can
Yeah,
keep them
it's
safe
funny
by
in a
keeping their
way, too.
behinds outside the suburb where they live. What did you say?
Imagine if Gomer Pyle were black.
Oh boy. My goodness.
Shazam.
Right. And
Shazam.
it's pretty much it's the same way. You take a white city, you put a black Gomer Pyle in there. Well, about a black city, you put a whole bunch of white Gomer Piles in a black city. 'Cause
Yeah.
that's pretty much the way it is. They don't understand us.
Mm-hmm.
They only know what they read about us, that little quick course they took in the training.
Mm-hmm.
They don't know it.
It's just totally
And,
ridiculous.
and this idea, this false idea, I should say as well, of they need to have more training. Training is not going to help you with your bias and your prejudice. It's just not going to do that, because when you see these images, and this is something that Theo and Bob Law and Kwabena, a lot of people are, the fact that they have no real knowledge of whom they're dealing with. They're taking all their information from rap videos and some of these still, I would say, black exploitation type movies where the thug life, the drug life, and all that is. So when they are coming to our cities, they see us as those twerkers and drug dealers, etc. So I don't care how much training they get, it's not enough, because they don't, as Theo said, they don't know our culture.
That's
so how are
right.
they going to be able to deal with us when all they have is just this little snapshot of us?
Well, we have an example of how they want to deal with us and how they have. And attorney Johnny Hawkins is dealing with him now because he's representing 3 young men who were in Greektown. It's been on the news several times, minding their own business, clean-cut young men, not trying to get into any trouble, just enjoying each other's company. And a white cop just decides to hit the guy, knocked him on the ground. And then next, it was a black cop that came up and hit him and knocked him on the ground. I mean, well, what kind of craziness is that? It sounds like the police officers in downtown Detroit are a gang.
Exactly.
A gang. And just because they have on police uniforms does not give them the right to just walk up to somebody and brutalize them. So I'm glad that attorney Johnny Hawkins is on the case.
And I would just add, and it's interesting because I did a video called Thug Cops, but in it what I did is I just took different clips from newscasts and other sources and showed police being brutal. So we don't put down all cops, because again, I've got family members who not only they're retired now, Detroit police officers, but I've had family members of state troopers, as well as being in the sheriff's department. So I wholly support them. And I will say this about those family members: they were upright. They let their fellow cop know, hey, look, if you want to get into something that's scurvy, I'm not a part of that. I came here to do a job, and I want to protect the citizens and go home. And so even though they're retired, they are some of the more vocal people who say, because they have children, my nieces and nephews, who are in that 20, 30-year-old range, who are also victims of overzealous police, those who on a power trip, I've got a badge, I can do this. So we're not against all police, but the police need to weed out the bad seeds among them. Just like we need to weed out bad people in our neighborhood, we need to weed out the police that are bad. Don't hold them up that blue code of silence or something like that. That's gang mentality.
Mm-hmm. And that blue code of silence might be something that David Duke started. But the co-founder of Hood Research is a retired police officer. So, anyway, we are very familiar.
I think we all grew up with them. My neighbors across the street when I was a little kid, a teenager. The whole family, they were police officers.
Mm-hmm.
And see, when it was around us,
right, and having them in the community with you, you get to know them. The children in the area get to know them. They know that they're there to protect the community and not to brutalize the community. And we do have every Thursday a police commission meeting, and more people need to tune in on the conference line and or attend the meeting physically. They have opened up again, and you can go to the third precinct, which is on Michigan Avenue and 3rd. They meet every Thursday at 3 p.m. in the afternoon, 3 p.m. in the afternoon. And speak up and speak out. And the purpose for that is not just to let the police commissioners know that they need to monitor, but it's to let the people who are tuned in know also that they need to monitor and that they do have others who are like-minded and want to have a police department that is supportive of the community.
And Keith, to the point that you were making earlier about growing up around police, what they represent also is a visual role model. If we have those role models who live among us, then our children have someone to look at. We don't need them to look at numbers runners and pimps and, you know, drug dealers and that. If we've got the doctors, the lawyers, the construction workers, the factory workers, police living there, when a child grows up, they say, oh yeah, my neighbor down the street did this, and that's why I wanted to get into that, a school teacher, whatever it is. So we have to kind of be mindful of, and I think it's very important, particularly with police, because that's who we look to when we're in need of something. Firefighters as well, although they are not in a position where they have life and death over us, but still we need those role models in our community, so our children will have someone to look at and say, you know, this is the person I want to emulate.
Right, yeah, because too, the contact wasn't just with Johnny when he committed a crime. The officers, the police department, knew the family.
Right.
They didn't. It didn't have to go to court. I saw Johnny up on the corner the other day.
Right.
And the parents would say, "You hang around with them boys again."
They just monitor.
Now we don't know about it till the crime is committed, and then the parents got to go get an attorney to try to bail them out.
Yeah, that is so true. And you know, we do have something called the PAL program. It's called the Police Athletic League PAL program. And there is a location where the Tiger Stadium is, or was, I guess I should say. The building there is very, very nice. And our young people have an opportunity to go there and participate in the PAL League. And it gives them another opportunity to interact with young people like them and get an interaction from the officers and other adults who work with the young people in the PAL program. But that's been very beneficial as well.
And we have to understand that our children are energetic. I know I had to tell my mom once, when she was dealing with grandchildren and even a few great-grandchildren, they just running around. I said, but that's what children do. If they sat around like us old folks, we wonder what was wrong. Why ain't he moving around? So if we can channel that energy through sports and through other activities, then at least it's well-directed. And as well, and I like what Theo was saying, one of the things about PAL is that it teaches you how to work with others, which is critically important, because right now in this technology age, everybody is independent. If you're playing a video game with somebody, he could be over there in Singapore or England somewhere, because there's no personal interaction, and we need that, period, more than anything else.
And you know something else, they can build lifelong friendships. Lifelong friendships. My son was participating in the PAL program, and Gladys Knight's son was participating in the PAL program as well. And they met each other and they played, I think it was on the baseball team that PAL had at the time. And they became friends and remained friends on into adulthood. So you can make a lifelong friends that way as well. And somebody that has like mind with you and more positive and not just wanting to hang on the corner and learn how to sling dope or whatever they call it, you know. But
Yeah, I
they
might
did.
tell my age,
They met
but
at the
I remember
program.
back
Mhm.
when back in the day when
Uh-huh.
every school, elementary school, had a police officer assigned to it
Mhm.
that would come and speak to the class.
Mhm. Yeah.
That same police
Yeah.
officer was a friend. You know, he wasn't like the alien coming in to tell you the do's and the
Oh
don'ts.
yeah.
He
Oh.
was there. He would talk about all kind of stuff.
Right. And also remember the singing group, the Blue Pigs. They would go around to the schools and entertain the students. And there's another
Right.
gentleman. I don't know if he's retired now, but he's a police officer. Well, he's moved up in the ranks, but he's a magician, and he would go around to the schools, you know, as well. But it was building a relationship with the students, with the children, letting them know that they were there to support them and protect them, and not there to be brutal to them. So
Back
that's
then
what is
during the
missing
70s,
now.
when the disco era was popping, the police threw some nice parties.
Mm. Oh, okay. But you know,
Real nice
wow.
parties.
But you know though, what else is missing in our school system now is the opportunity to learn about government. We don't have the kind of classes in the sample elections and all of that. So some years ago, I would participate in that. We'd have the mock elections in schools, and the students would have an opportunity to learn. You know, this is what I'm responsible to do when I graduate from high school and get to legal age. You know, the voting age, and learn about the process. And that just doesn't exist now the way it did. You know?
And I like to know, and I'm sure none of us can really answer because we're not the ones who do the administration over education.
Uh-huh.
But I remember, you know, let's just say, okay, they've taken some of the vocational skills out, so there's no music classes. There are a few shop. I mean, if you do, they're not in school. You got to travel, and that half hour, 45 minutes is a half hour that you could have been in school.
Wasting learning time.
Yeah, in order to do that. So
Right.
I remember having civics classes, economics, along with foods. I learned how to make French toast and stuff. I mean, it was just a wonderful experience for me because it produces a well-rounded individual.
Right.
And right now we don't have that. We just have strict academics. There's no outlet for that energy I was speaking about. Very few outlets at all. You know, we do have the, you know, public school league for football, but those generate money too. So maybe that's why they still exist as opposed to the ones that will make you a well-rounded. I have, you know, things that I made in wood shop, metal shop. So if you didn't want to be an academic person, you still had hands-on skills that were valuable and that you could actually make a lucrative career out of. So but particularly when you mentioned, Theo, about the involvement in politics and just understanding the three, branches of government, et cetera, why would they take that out? Well,
Yeah.
I don't know, but that's what I ask.
Well, it's
I think
called
it was important
dumbing
to
down the
keep us in the dark.
community. Dumbing down the community. And
We were getting too smart, too intelligent.
Right.
So they can dumb us down.
Right. Somebody said
If you
they built this
understand what's
country.
going on around you, then you can feel what's going on around you, and they don't want us to feel and understand what they're doing to us. We're being colonized.
Mentally more than anything.
Well, you know, Keith, we are in an election season as we are every year, but this particular election season is for local offices. Local offices, that means city offices, mayor, city clerk, city council, police commissioners. And you know, people say, well, if we elect somebody, we got to hold them accountable. Hold them accountable. What the hell does that mean? Hold them accountable. Well, I tell you, right now that we're in an election, if there is an elected person who has not lived up to the potential or the platforms that they claimed they were going to follow when they got in office, you can hold them accountable by not voting for them. Vote them out. You know?
I would
if
add.
you don't like who's in there, vote them out.
And I would just add, and I'll let you get in, Brother Keith, that, okay, perhaps the incumbent mayor may still get reelected, you know, one way or the other. That's what it is, as they say. But I would add this, that the city council, if you get the right city council in there, incumbent or not, he has to answer to them. But as long as you have a city council that rubber stamps, sits in silence, condones everything that he does because they're comfortable with their little cushy job and title. And that's what I think it is too. A lot of them just have a cushy job, a title, you know, they can walk around and, you know, hold their head up. Oh yeah, well, you know, I'm the administrator, this and that. I mean, I ran into that, and Keith, you know this very well. When you're on a job site or something, the man he's the foreman, the general foreman, they're more interested in their titles, and this is what they can tell their neighbors. Oh, well, you know, I happen to, you know, represent such and such company. So they're ego-based occupations where they get the joy of being able to title. So I'm just saying to you, the electorate, if we're unable to unseat the incumbent, at least try to get people in there that will hold him in check.
Well, this is what you would call the hold them accountable season. Hold them accountable
it's
season.
All about checks and balances.
That's right.
Checks and balances.
And if
that was the whole thing about why the government is based on the levels that it is, with the executive branch, you know, the legislative branch, you know, the judicial, you know. It's because one department has to check the other department. You know, you look at the 1918 charter back in the day. The reason why they came up with that charter was because of a crooked city council. They called them aldermen back then. They had districts. They took the districts away, made council as a whole so it could be fair and not quite as easy to corrupt.
Right, in a district.
Right.
And
now, all you got to do is have your own boy.
I don't think that. Right. Therefore, as I say, this is a hold them accountable season. And if you don't like who's in there, vote them out.
And
you don't like who's in there, vote them out.
And there are 4 people, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, 4 that are not running. So that means you got 4 new people. Research these people. As Steele says, September, I'm sure you said September.
Mid-September, absentee ballot begins. Absentee ballots. And you have all the way up to November the 2nd at 8 p.m. to get it done. Really no excuse. That's a long time.
And if you can get out there, then do it in person, because unfortunately the percentage of numbers are so small that seem to vote in these midterm elections. You'll still get in and out in no time. That way you guarantee that when you put your ballot into that slot, it's going to automatically calculate and count you then, because people have had concerns with absentee ballots, and there's a fear. And the engineer
the post office
has let us know that we're approaching the top of the hour break.
Again? Oh, my.
Time flies.
I know.
I've been on the phone this long.
When you haven't fun. That's right, you have. Well, I want you to know that we have to pause for the cause. And we want you to call somebody, tell them tune in, hear what Keith has to say. And we will be back momentarily.
You're watching Detroit's own WHPR TV. Detroit Live.
Hi, this is Thabiti Mpinda from the Feedback Program. You can watch me 24 hours a day, 7 days a week on WHPR TV Now app. Download our free app at WHPR TV Now.
Monday at 9 a.m. Eastern.
Hey there, it's me, Butter, with my new book, The Many Adventures of These Nuts. Let's be nuts about our health. Join me and my friends, Wally Walnut, Almond Cruz, Pumpkin Spice, Tika Tominski, Morgan Raisin, and Hallie Cranberry, here with rhythm and song to share a fun way to stay safe and healthy. So together we can all be nuts about our health. Ebook available now on Amazon, or get a hardcover copy at www.thesenutstrailmix.com. That's nuts with a Z.
I'm James Ford, founder of the Obama Weekend, and a partner of the Hood Research Team, composed of the knowledgeable Theo Broden, the super analyst Henry, and the colorful Al Martin. This team discusses politics, seen and not seen, at the national, state, and local level. But to enhance the goals of this team, join or donate to Hood Research by visiting Twitter or Facebook, or visit hoodresearch.org, or call 248-234-2371. You can also join Hood Research on Phonecast every Saturday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time by calling 978-990-5000, access code 338729. Thank you very much.
I've always been a runner, but I've never run from anything, and neither has my city.
Do you want to be a Detroit police officer?
Sir, yes, sir! Amen!
It's something special to protect the people closest to you, the ones you've known all your life, your neighbors, your friends. I was born in this city, and I'm not going anywhere. This is my home. That's why I wear the shield.
It's the These Nuts Show with your host, Butter and friends. Butter here, magician escape artist, practicing for my show tonight. Come on in, have a seat.
All right, everybody settle. Butter, you're on in 5, 4, 3, 2.
In a few seconds, you gotta be enough to get out of this one. Twist a little turn, ta-da! It's showtime! It's your old friend Butter here. I may be a nut, but I know to wear my mask. Please welcome my first guest tonight, fitness guru, Wally Walnut.
I wouldn't Woodland here to tell you to wash your hands with soap and water for 20 seconds so you will stay healthy and strong like me.
Almond Cruz here, sliding in with the news. Distance is what we must do to stay away from the chew and other germs in the air that might be trying to get on you. Social distancing is a wonderful way to see friends. As long as you're 6 feet apart, you win.
Hey there, friends. I wouldn't miss this for the world. It's me, Pumpkin Spice, your healthy girl. Remember, it's important to use your kind hearts and follow the signs to stay healthy and safe at all times.
Tika Tominski here to say, don't forget the little ones that need you to lead the way. That's how we remember to wash our hands, mask, and social distance today.
Morgan Raisin. Yes, it's me, here to sing about health and safety. We are all here to help get a message out to your grapevine, teaching healthy choices to stay safe all the time.
Don't let these guys drive you nuts. Put your mask on first. They'll let you be. And it keeps me safe from the
chew
that's trying to get on me.
Butter me up. She's right, you know. Thank you, Hallie Cranberry, for joining the show. Let's all be nuts about our health. Social distancing, wash your hands frequently, use hand sanitizer, and wear a mask. Practice what we learned to stay away from the germ. We're all in this together. Coming soon, the many adventures of these nuts in a theater near you.
I'm Wayne County Treasurer Eric Sabri, encouraging all taxpayers to please take advantage of the several payment options available.
You can pay online by visiting the Wayne County Treasurer's Office website. Paying online is easy and convenient.
You can also download the mobile app and pay with your smartphone.
You can pay at one of 70 kiosks located throughout Wayne County.
And yes, you can always still send in your payments using the U.S. Postal Service.
If you have to visit our office in person, you must make an appointment by going to treasurer.waynecounty.com. It only takes a few minutes. Facial covering or mask is required and social distancing is observed. Your health and safety is very important to us. You can also email our office at taxinfo@waynecounty.com or call us at 313-224-5990.
WGPR Detroit HD2.
You're watching WHPS, Highland Park, Detroit.
FM 88.1 WHPR, Highland Park.
WVIE 107.3 FM Charlotte, Amalia, Virgin Islands.
Feedback. Hi, this is Theo Broughton,
And I am Thabiti Mpinda.
inviting you to join us each Monday at 9 a.m. for feedback.
A positive image production by Hood Research.
Encourage others to tune in each Monday on
Comcast Detroit, Roku, Amazon Fire TV, watch WHPR TV Network anywhere.
and take us along with you. Feedback. With you. For those of you who have the fancy phone, you can go to the App Store and you can download WHPR TV now. Again, that's WHPRTVNOW. And you can take us along with you. In the meantime, this coming Saturday, Hood Research will be on, and we invite you to an afternoon with Hood Research between the hours of 3 p.m. and 6 p.m. We have a more conversation. We have guests. We have all kinds of things going on, and we're expecting to have attorney Johnny Hawkins on with us. They he call himself the Warrior Lawyer. I think that is so cool. And that's this coming Saturday and every Saturday from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. And we want you to be sure and join us for that. And in the meantime, we know that this month is Black Business Month. And we want you to be conscious about supporting black businesses within our community. There are more of them than we really are. And they are working to provide good professional services to people in the community. And if you run out of the city and spend most of your income in somebody else's town, you're helping them to have a better quality community.
It's been said that 95% of our money goes to the other communities outside of Detroit, which means we're only spending 5% within our community.
Right.
How can we thrive based on that? And just during the break, I was speaking with Keith and Theo about, or I should say Theo and Keith ladies first, about my experience at the African World Festival. And I just want to encourage brothers and sisters, whether you get the vaccine or not, that's a personal choice. So everybody make that choice for themselves. But I would suggest, because I didn't see as many masks as I would hope to have seen when I was there. I had mine on, certainly. But we don't want to treat this Delta virus as if it doesn't exist. Okay, the Trumpozoids already have their mindset. We're not doing this. We're not going to have government tell us what to do. Well, we'll let them do what they do. I mean, you don't have to stop at red lights either. I mean, that's the government. If you just want to, act out, or you don't have to stop at stop signs. There's a lot of things you don't have to do because the government has decided that. But I'd say for us, and particularly for our homes, and some of our homes have multi-generational families where there's a grandmother, the parents, as well as a grandchild in the home, and children are about to go back to school. So I would just encourage everyone, the least you can do is wear a mask when you're in a social setting, particularly with people you may not know personally, so you don't know what their personal habits are. So I'm just encouraging everyone until this thing is really gone, because it's not gone. The only reason they opened up the country is because they wanted to make money. It's an economical, capitalistic move. It has nothing to do with your health. It's all about money. So at least wear a mask. I've got mine right here. You know, I'm on the air now, but you can see it in my hand. And I just don't play that. I want to live as long and healthy as I can, and I'm not going to take chances when they're not necessary.
That's right. Absolutely not. And you know,
education is important. Our next generation, we need to have skills. We need the skills. Right now, they're trying to shoot them past us.
Yes.
And how can we progress if we don't have the intelligence and the knowledge and the skills to progress?
And you know, when you talk about skills, Keith, this happened so slick that the union offices just eased their way right under Detroit. We currently have the IBEW Hall. And we also have 1191, but that's basically a hall that gets rented out for parties, from my observation. And the IBEW Hall is still there, and young people go and they can register and apply to be, what is it, an apprentice?
Yes.
An apprentice. However, I learned too that there is a second IBEW Hall outside the city of Detroit.
12 Mile.
So while we want our young people to learn about the skills and all, know that some smooth operator has eased a lot of that away from us.
I do want to say, and I'm happy to see this because I didn't know what the building was, but right along I-96 at Grand River, which is in the 48204 area code, they're building a carpenters and millwrights training center. So that, I passed by there, but I kept wondering what the construction was, and I finally see, because this has been going on for over a year, that they're actually putting that together. And there's a lot of money in carpentry. I was going to be a millwright at one time, but I didn't make the cut. But I'm glad I didn't, because I became an electrician, which was even better, because you can use your skills. Millwrights are only there for conveyors in large industrial plants for the most part, or anything that runs with conveyors and such. But they're building a training center for carpenters and millwrights right here in Detroit. So once it's completed, and I always post on my Facebook, I'm going to let everyone know, because those carpentry skills that you'll learn out there in the field, you can also do side work. So, I mean, somebody needs to have drywall put up, or doors, or there's so many things that come under the carpentry titles, which allows you to be independent or work for a company. But in either case, the wages are great. So we will have another training center in Detroit, and I'm going to make sure I keep everyone posted.
Oh, that is wonderful. You know, I'm concerned about the Benjamin Davis Aerospace, and I think about all of the young students who have missed out on that school. Right there at the city airport, now known as the Coleman Young Municipal International Airport. Coleman Young International Airport is at I-94 and Connor, right near the eastern campus of Wayne County Community College. And the idea that they would move the students away from there to go lightly, which is definitely not slated for that kind of industry. It's basically a senior community. And if you started up an airplane engine, it would frighten a lot of the seniors. But anyway, just to destroy that Keith, I just can't tell you how that annoys me, especially when I think about the young people who come out of there at 18 years of age, and a lot of them still live at home, and the kind of money they could make, $40,000, $50,000, $60,000, they think they died and went to heaven. But
I came out of school and went right into the IBEW, overqualified with the skills earned and learned in high school.
Mm-hmm. See, so we have to learn about what's going on in our public school system. And why did you not fight to have that school continue? Why did you not find yourself in need of young people needing to learn, needing to develop, needing to grow into adulthood with some skills like that, with an income like that?
I think it was an attack on black achievement.
That's a
you
good
know, because
point.
if you go back to the original Tuskegee Airmen,
Mm-hmm.
they were said that blacks couldn't fly.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yes.
We
yes.
proved them wrong.
I remember
Came to
that.
the 60s, they said blacks can't count.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We sent people up into outer space. Those ladies did.
And
them wrong
unfortunately, a lot
again.
of our own people believe that, Keith. Propaganda,
And
that's
now-
what it is.
Right. And see, now they don't want us to fix the airplane.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, I have
In
to
other
say,
words, they don't want us to have anything to do with it.
they want to protect, and I have to, Keith, I don't know if you and I were on that same job at Wayne County Jail when they were doing the new one, but I remember one of my Caucasian journeyman saying, he said, not only did we not want y'all in the trade, he was very frank with me because he knew I was that kind of individual. I wasn't one of those shucking and jiving kind of brothers, so he had to talk to me in a different way. But he said, not only did we not want you all in the trade, he said we didn't even want other Caucasians who weren't family members. So when they started the IBEW back, it's been a little over 100 years now, he said if you didn't have a brother, an uncle, a cousin, or something in the trade, you could not get in. So I say that to say that even with what you're saying now about they don't want us to fix the airplanes, they wanted to keep it as an exclusive club among a very small group, and they won't. And in some cases, again, they won't even let their own in because they know that that's competition for jobs in the future. So if you don't know somebody, and that's what it seems like it is in America anyway, you got to know somebody in order to get somewhere. So I just throw that out there to say that they not only didn't want us, and of course they didn't want women because it took
Right.
women even longer to get into skilled trades.
Right.
But they didn't even want their own kind if you wasn't family.
Oh,
Oh,
man.
and I guess that's
Some of the
why.
old,
There's a
old timers
challenge.
too. That's saying how they used to have to carry a gun in their lunchbox.
What?
Say it again.
Say that again.
You remember like Larry Page and those guys back then? They can
Right.
tell you some stories that you were like, what? Is this America?
Yeah.
And maybe this harkens back to the old system back there in jolly old England and Europe, where they even married within the family because they didn't want nobody else to,
Incest.
to get
Oh,
into
yes.
the money. So it's
Everybody's
just
so
carried
crazy. And then when they
It
came
is.
up with crazy folks, they shipped them over here. Oh.
Yep. And the aviation industry is an industry that's larger than the automobile industry.
Mm-hmm,
Yet you don't
mhm.
hear any type of promotion coming from downtown city county building. I'm talking about the mayor's office
Mhm.
to do with aviation vocation as a skill.
You're right. They don't talk about it.
And I never thought about it in that context, but when you think about all the airplanes that fly nationally, internationally, that is a large network of people who are involved in that.
Not only that,
Think about
Lieutenant
those
Colonel
satellites that we're
Milben,
communicating through right now.
Keith, Lieutenant Colonel Milben, who's a Tuskegee Airman as well, mentioned one time when he was a guest on the show that over 10 years we were going to need 1 million pilots, and that's through the 10 years. And therefore, when they destroyed Benjamin Davis Airspace in the manner that they did, that deprived a lot of young people from having the opportunity to become commercial pilots.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
commercial pilots, aircraft mechanics,
Mm-hmm.
aviation maintenance technicians specializing in avionics,
Mm-hmm.
air traffic controllers, all type of airport accessory help and miscellaneous jobs.
Okay, now is the avionics going on now? The classes, avionics
We're
classes?
working on it. That's what we're establishing over at the Coleman Young Airport right now.
Okay.
In that new addition we put on.
Okay.
And let me encourage everyone, if you can, just because it's a beautiful thing. I went by there probably about a month ago, and the 4 beautiful statues that they have of the Tuskegee Airmen, and I made it a point to take pictures of it, and I post them on Facebook. And I'm glad I did. And I tend to do these Facebook things for one reason in particular. I want people to be informed, enlightened, and to be knowledgeable. And some of the comments were, wow, we didn't know it was over there. Well, I think with this social media, I mean, people do what they want. You can post your, banana pudding recipe, whatever. That's on you. But for me, my whole purpose on being there is not for likes or anything. It's just to disseminate information. So those of you, and Theo has given you the address and told you where it's at, go over there, and Keith, I want you to answer this for me because I know you and Beverly Kendall Walker know better than myself. Is there anything within the building itself that also, gives, accolades or acknowledges the Tuskegee Airmen?
History.
If you go inside of that building, that new addition we put on, there's a wall. And I don't know if you've seen it or not, but
no,
it shows the Tuskegee Airmen, and it lists the name
of
the Tuskegee Airmen.
Okay. And
served.
Mayor Coleman Alexander Young was a Tuskegee Airman. He technically was an aviator for the Tuskegee Airmen.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes, and once you go in there and you look at that, you're definitely going to want to take a picture.
Well, next time I won't just be outside, but I'll be inside. and we have the Buffalo Soldiers, which are over there in the River Rouge Park area right off of Joy Road, which has a nice museum as well. And I've gone there a couple of years in a row. COVID stopped last year with my granddaughter. They let you ride horses. You had free food. They got all kind of memorabilia on the walls within inside of the Buffalo Soldiers. So we have a lot of people that we just need to have more common in our conversation, which we don't. But again, that's why we're here.
Right.
Yeah, because our history is around us, and it's a shame that for some of the things that we have to do, we have to actually go outside of our city to get any type of assistance or aid. And that's what's been going on, especially when it comes to aviation in Detroit.
Right. Yeah, and what's so sad about that is there are some Europeans who are now studying the Underground Railroad. Why aren't our people studying the Underground Railroad? I know it takes time, takes finances as well, but we've been struggling for a long time, and we'll probably continue to struggle for a long time to come because of all of the kind of hatred that comes against us and the pushback on whatever it is. And it's sad that we can't just live and let live,
One of the things I would add, too, is that, as you say, Caucasians are studying us more than we study ourselves. But if we study ourselves more, I think this self-hatred that we have amongst each other would diminish significantly. Not only that, but it would give us a sense of self-confidence of who we are, because I guess they say if you don't know the roots of where you come from, then that tree doesn't flourish at all. And we are the leaves and the branches of that tree. So knowing our roots, which is why the African World Festival meant something to me. And I was pleased that my brother told me that him and his wife went down there. When I visited my mom's, I had my gear on and my because I wear that on a regular basis, but not every day. So when I was approaching my mom's house, she didn't recognize the outfit. He said, "Who is that?" She said, "Oh, that's the Beat." And my brother said, "That's the Beatty coming up here." And he says, "One thing I'll say about him, it says he's not afraid to represent his culture. You know, he doesn't have to fit into whatever the mold is
Right.
of just say whatever America's supposed to be. He will be himself no matter what." So when my brother told me him and his wife went down there, I was just joyful. And it just shows you don't have to say anything. And Theo has said this about T-shirts, and I always liked it too. She says that a T-shirt is a how did you put it? A point of advertisement. It's something that you can deliver a message. There's some way you put it, but I liked it.
I can't remember it's word for word, but we need to be walking, talking commercials.
That's it.
We need to be, because there are so many things that need to be done, need to be told, need to be felt, need to be shared. And when you have a T-shirt on, that says a lot. You know, it sometimes
like the
causes
last
conversation, which is good. What?
Yeah. Keith, go ahead and tell her.
Well,
The T-shirt he's wearing now is the last poet.
It's got all the last poets on it. Yes.
Right.
And we had one of them, David, as a guest. One of the original.
That's right. One of the original Blast Boys. You know what? Her research has done a lot. And I thought about that when I heard about the earthquake in Haiti. There's a lot of conversation about Afghanistan, but very little about Haiti. And when they had the last earthquake, Hood Research reached out to the community, and we said, we want you to check your closets, your basements, your garages, your back porches, because there's medical equipment that is still perfectly good. And people don't want to throw it away, and they don't know what to do with it. So they take a wheelchair, and they'll put it in the basement or the garage someplace. Crutches, those are perfectly good. What do I do with them? They put them in their closet or on the back porch. Walkers, all kinds of equipment like that. And you'd be surprised at the amount that we accumulated when people really remembered they had this kind of equipment in their home, but they had nothing to use it for, but it was too good to throw it away. And the chancellor of Wayne County Community College worked with us to help us accumulate it, and a gentleman, Mr. Saunders, was kind enough to work with us to get this equipment shipped to Haiti. And for any of the people who were in need of any of that kind of equipment, that's what we did. That's what we do. That's what we encourage you to do. It was not just something that Hood Research should do, but everybody should reach out and find out, what can you do to make the life of someone else better? And that was what we did for the people in Haiti. And now they find themselves in another peril.
And we have to say that, I have to say rather that we are a village. We say it takes a village, but we are a global village as well. And Haiti is a part of that global village. When Africans were brought to, let's just say, the Western Hemisphere, and the diaspora, as we would use the term also, we were put into the islands, of course, North America, South America. I think South America has the second largest African population outside of Africa itself. So we are all part of this diaspora, and these are our brothers and sisters. And unfortunately, I'm sure that during this whole Atlantic slave trade, etc., that some of the families of ours, if we go back generationally, are in other parts of South America, Central America, as well as the Caribbean. So we are a global village, and Haiti is a part of our family, and hated by the Western world, as we know, because because they were the only ones who were able to defeat a European nation, which happened to be France at that time, with Toussaint Louverture. So Haiti has always had a negative image when it came to Western civilization, because they wanted to show their dominance, and Toussaint Louverture said, no, we're going to run this. So we have to look out and pray for our brothers and sisters, as well as contribute to their upliftment.
Right. That's so true. So true.
Right. Together we do have strength, we have power, and we have a vote. You know, every time I hear certain voices on television or some of these meetings that I go to, I think about that song by the Undisputed Truth, Smiling Faces.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
You know, and that song, that record probably should be played more often.
Oh,
because
yeah.
it really speaks to what's going on.
It does. It really does. And, you know, it's just unfortunate that we have a syndicated media that is also cooperating with voter suppression. That is whatever they can do to keep people away from information. Oh, don't worry about that election. You know, somebody take care of it. We all need to take care of it. 2.5 minutes. All we do. And I want to let you know that Hood Research believes that it's not necessary for you to know everything, but what it is necessary is for you to know how to find what you need when you need it. We come here each Monday from 9 a.m. until 10:30 a.m. to share information with you, to encourage you to participate in the community where you live, to help make our quality of life better. And know that if you are concerned about holding people accountable, know that you can just vote them out. You have an opportunity. Vote them out. You vote for the competition, and they're out. That's what you think about. That's what you concern yourself about. The research phone number is area code 248-234-2371. Again, the area code for Hood Research is 248-234-2371. We have a Facebook page. We have a website. We encourage you to follow us on Twitter. Just follow us on Twitter. And you can share information there as well. And we'll be on next Thursday on the conference call. You don't even have to leave your house, your chair, your bed, your backyard. Just pick up the phone for an afternoon with Hood Research. Google Hood Research, and you can see the information and the phone number to be on with us, the BD.
One thing that Theo said I really want to emphasize, number one, this is an information resource. As the motto of Hood Research is, people would do better if they knew better. Now, by you listening to this program, which means you may be that resource for your family. I know my family consults me when it comes to voting. Mm-hmm. You know, they have other activities in their life. They say, well, what do you think about this and what do you think about that? Not only my family, but friends. So those of you who are listening, you're gathering information. Other people in your family or circle may not. Be that resource for them. And as I always say, if you want to be nothing, do nothing. But the only problem with doing nothing is you never know when you finish. And I want to thank Keith Hines, too, for being with us.
That's funny.
You don't have to thank me. It's an honor just being on here. I mean, you know, with you guys, y'all let me be the little guy on the screen hanging out with the big guy.
Oh, Keith. All right. Thank you so much. And know that all.
Yeah, I'm going to sign off and let you guys have it, you know, but it was something that a manager back in the 70s when I was at McDonald's, when I first started, he used to say, you can do anything, you can be anything. This is a quote from Mr. Jim Fuller. Ain't nothing to it but to do it. You just have to sock it to the boom boom with the mighty mighty.
All right.
I like that.
Thank you, Keith. Okay. For all of you, thank you so much for being tuned in this morning. And tune us again next Monday, 9 a.m. Peace.
Hey there, it's me, Butter, with my new book, The Many Adventures of These Nuts. Let's be nuts about our health. Join me and my friends, Wally Walnut, Almond Cruz, Pumpkin Spice, Tika Cheminsky, Morgan Raisin, and Hallie Cranberry, here with rhythm and song to share a fun way to stay safe and healthy. So together we can all be nuts about our health. Ebook available now on Amazon, or get a hardcover copy at www.thesenutstrailmix.com. That's nuts with a Z.
Feedback. Hi, this is Theo Broughton,
And I am Thabiti Mpinda,
inviting you to join us each Monday at 9 a.m. for Feedback.
a positive image production by Hood Research.
Encourage others to tune in each Monday on
Comcast Detroit, Roku, Amazon Fire TV, watch WHPR TV Network anywhere.
and take us along with you. Feedback.